Okay, I want to start by saying thank you so much for taking the time out to sit down and chat with me. I suppose we should start right at the beginning. How did you first get into theatre and being creative? How did that start for you?
So for me, my first introduction to theatre was always at least once a year. Me and my family, we'd always go see a show
Hmm.
at a local theatre. Can't remember what my first show was, but on top of that, you had the traditional going to a panto
Yes,
every
yeah.
single year, which I still do even now into my mid 20s.
Wow.
Which is like, it amazes me. I've been committed to that for so long. Um, it's the longest thing I've ever been committed to,
Yeah.
so it's fun. So yeah, and then it was about 2012 when I was in school. I was walking past the year sixes at the time. They were putting together their show at the end of the year, and they were one person down. And the drama teacher came up to me and went, "Would you mind reading in for us?" And I'm like, I have no idea what's going on.
Hmm.
And then yeah, they just handed me the script, and then that's when I went, okay, I could do this.
Hmm.
And then fast forward 13 years now, and I'm still
Yeah.
trying to make a career out of it, but it's getting there slowly.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. And so where did the writing come into it? Creating your own stuff? How did that get introduced?
So it kind of links in as well with the backstory of the piece. Is it was around about 2019. I'd always been kind of a fan of like sketch comedy and stuff like that, and I always wanted to write something. And then a bereavement happened, and I was so kind of stuck in my head about it that I went, right, I need to do something productive here, otherwise this is not going to go well.
Yeah.
So I just started writing like on a Word document. Just, I think at the time it was like one scene that I was like, oh, I'll just let all my feelings out and see what happens. And then it went from there, and I went, okay, this has got a body. This could actually be something. And the irony is, the piece was originally written as a short film, which took 3 years to make, mainly because there was a tiny little pandemic in the middle of it that
Make
kind
it
of put
a
us
little bit
back.
harder.
Yeah, just a little bit harder by adding an extra 18 months onto it.
Wow.
Yeah. So, yeah, and we finished the short film at the end of 2022, and at the time I thought, that's it, I've written something, I'm going to leave it alone. Little did I know.
And we'll come on to sort of where you're heading to later in the
Yeah.
interview. But I know you mentioned there obviously a bereavement in the family. Is that where the title Unlucky Me comes from? Is that where it originated?
Yeah, so originally, the whole idea of a character called Lucky was always going to be an irony, because at the time, before the bereavement, I thought I had everything. I thought I was the luckiest guy on earth. And then when everything comes crashing down, it kind of throws you back and go, actually, no, I really am not.
Yeah.
So having a character like Lucky, with the irony being he's just not lucky whatsoever, is kind of where the title came from. And that's also kind of how I felt at the time, of like, oh, great, I've lost everything, all my luck is gone. But there's always like that moment in any situation where you're like, oh god, I've lost everything, but actually in the bigger picture you really haven't.
Yeah,
It's just a brief pause kind of thing.
yeah, just a little like that moment where you go, actually, I've got so much left. I
Yeah.
have lost everything. Oh, fantastic. So obviously, I know you gave us a little description there, but jumping from you putting ideas down on the page to it becoming a short film must have had quite a lengthy span. So what was the writing process of the story like, going from that first put down my feelings to it going, here's a script?
So originally when I started writing it, I didn't really think it was going to go anywhere. I didn't think it was going to be a story that could be told or would relate to a lot of people, but I wrote the first draft in 4 or 5 months, I think. About 4 or 5 months. And at the end of that, I kind of went, right, I've got this thing. I want to make it into something, but I had no connections at that point. So I started in the weirdest of all places, started going to like music open mics to try and see if there's by any chance anyone who has a camera who might be willing to just hear me out. And then from there I started developing it a lot more, because at the time it was very sweary, very ranty, like, oh my god, I hate my life, like, it was very ranty. And then during the pandemic, I met someone called Steph, who is the original co-writer of the short film, and I gave this script to Steph and went, look, what do I do with it? I don't know what to do with it.
Yeah.
And she took it away and she gave it arms and legs. And Steph was one of the most amazing people to work with, and still a very close friend of mine. So that's kind of how it got to the short film part anyway.
So was the plan for it to always be a short film? Was that always your intention, or did that just kind of happen?
So it was always going to be a short film, and my original idea was, after the short film, we might do a sequel. I wrote a sequel. I think I shot it one day, and then I kind of went, no, I don't want to do it. It's one of them projects where you go, yeah, I'll do it, and then you get into it and go, no, right. Don't want to do it. And then it was about a year or so after the short film had gone out that I looked at the script and went, could this be a theatre piece? Like, even if it's like a fringe piece of like 40 minutes, could it be something? And I kind of developed it a little bit on my own, and then I took it to a scratch night, as all good work goes to. That's where you know whether your work's going to die or whether it's got legs.
Yeah.
And at the time I was working on another project separately, and two of the actors who I was in this other project with, James Seacombe and Shannon Stewart, who ended up going on to write this version, we did basically the opening scene of the original short film, and people came up to me going, this is actually something. It's got legs, it's got a body, maybe look at developing it. And then here we are in 2026 with a kind of third draft of the stage show, but it's definitely not the final draft.
Totally.
Definitely not the final draft.
So obviously, like we said, you wrote it, you put it together. What was the process of creating that short film like? Seeing your ideas come to life.
So when the first shooting day we shot, it was in the middle of winter and it was absolutely freezing. And I remember... Yes, I know, it was horrible. Oh my god. But yeah, we were there. And I remember looking at Steph going, are we actually doing this? Because I have no idea. Like, I literally had no idea, like, what are we doing? Like, and then it kind of hit me that this could work. At the end of shooting day 2, when I went, it still blows my mind now that I was able to do that. Yeah. And now that it's like a stage piece as well, I still have that weird moment whenever I see my name on the program. I'm like, wow. I'm like, this can't be real. Yeah.
So did you starred in the short film as well as writing?
Yep. So I was Lucky in the original short film, and I played Lucky in most of the stage adaptations up until this upcoming one, where I will be playing the other Flynn sibling, Toby. So it's weird. It is weird going from playing one brother to another one, and it's like, oh, this person's saying my lines when it's not my lines anymore.
Talking about wearing many hats, though, obviously writing and sort of helping direct and starring in the short film must have been a lot of pressure. Did you feel that when filming?
Filming, yeah, because when we were filming, I wrote it, starred in it, and I was kind of directing it, but I let Steph take the reins,
Yeah.
because after the first shooting day, I was like, no, I can't. I just can't. I have to focus on Lucky as the main thing. So she was like, yeah, I'll do it. So that was fun.
Yeah. Did it add sort of pressure to you as a performer, being like not only having to think about what you're doing, but also going, this is how this fits into the bigger picture?
Yeah, there was several times in between takes, and I'm sure one of the cast from that short film has got footage somewhere of me at the end of a take turning around, facing no one, going ah! And it was, I'm sure someone's got footage of it somewhere, or the people walking past as we were shooting looking at this guy who looks like he's about to have a mental breakdown doing it. But it all kind of lent into Lucky's character, which says a lot. It does say a lot.
Totally. So I know we've brushed around it, but what is the story of Unlucky Me? What is it about?
So it follows a down-on-his-luck musician called Lucky, who, due to circumstances, whether of his own making or not, he's basically really down on his luck. He's got a controlling girlfriend called Sophie. He's got his older brother who's been shot dead. And then he feels like he's got nothing left. Despite the support of his sister Sarah, he fails to see the mistakes that he's made in life, until one of a face from the past decides to show up and kind of confronts Lucky to finally look at those mistakes head on, whether he likes it or not.
Oh, wow.
And it's a thrilling piece. It's a piece of theatre that I think is very different to anything else that's out there. I know a lot of like writers say this, like, oh, it's better than this, but it's like, no, this I think is really relatable to people, because it's got the mental health struggle. It's got, you know, everyone's been in like a controlling relationship. Whether they like to admit they have been is another thing.
Totally.
But it's got that moment to it. It's got so much heart. It's got a lot of darkness to it. But on top of that darkness, there's a lot of comedy, which I have to give credit to Shannon and Helen, who helped me co-write the stage version. Without them, the stage version wouldn't have been as good.
Yeah.
And when we did fully stage it, we did a workshop of it, which I directed, and then the first fully staged version of it, Shannon directed, and then this time, due to Shannon and Helen being busy on other projects, I've had to take the directing hat again.
Wow.
Which is a bit easier this time, because I'm playing Toby, and Toby's not in the show much. It's a bit easier than playing Lucky, who's in the show the whole time and directing it. So it's I'm excited for this version.
You mentioned obviously the darkness, the mental health, controlling relationships. I know there's mentions of county lines throughout. So bringing those sort of really serious real world issues into theatre, what was it like putting those to stage and capturing those in a way that's both respectful but also honest and real?
I think what helps is a lot of Lucky's kind of experiences are based on my own. So when I was playing Lucky, I could really throw myself back into those spaces, which a lot of actors would say that's really dangerous to do. But if you can do it and bring yourself back out of that headspace,
Totally.
it's an easy thing to do. But I do think, I've said this before with like mental health pieces, some pieces of theatre that say they're talking about mental health, they don't always hit the mark. They always either go too kind of, you know, like stereotypical, oh, he's having a mental breakdown, quick, let's do this. Whereas this piece actually looks at, that they do need help. There are people out there that need the help, and a lot of the people that need the help won't go get the help, and they need someone next to them to guide them that way, not just go, oh, you've got depression, go that way.
Yeah, just feel better.
Yeah, like don't just go, oh, you've got depression, feel better. It's not like that. Like I feel like mental health isn't talked about enough in theatre, and a good piece that I saw of theatre last year, which I really enjoyed, and I think you saw as well, was Overshare. Mm-hmm. And Overshare was absolutely brilliant. Mm-hmm. And I kind of think those are the pieces of theatre that we should be producing on mental health, not the stereotypical bits that are like, oh, he's got depression, oh look, he's going out to kill people because he's got depression. No, that's not how it goes.
So obviously you talked about the movie, the short film, and the workshopping, and obviously the feedback must have been brilliant because you got a very exciting announcement that you are heading to the Bread and Roses Theatre. So what was it like getting that notification message call? I'm not sure how it's done, but getting that news that you are heading to that wonderful theatre.
So this is the third time I've taken the show to Bread and Roses. It was originally workshopped at Bread and Roses, and then it transferred to the Etc., which is a wonderful venue, slightly smaller than Bread and Roses, but still a really good venue. So it was during that first workshop that Shannon played my sister Sarah, and we had kind of like a meeting after the show. We all kind of had drinks and everything, and we kind of had a meeting, and Shannon said she was interested in doing some writing and some directing. So I said to her, look, if you want to have a go at directing this piece, go for it. You know, I'd love to see someone else's spin on it. And my God, did Shannon do an amazing job with that etc. version. Like, we basically had a 7-week turnaround between the first workshop at Bread and Roses and putting it on at the etc. And I remember me, Helen and Shannon having multiple Zoom meetings, writing, adding stuff in, and there was I'd never laughed so hard more in my life than in them writing sessions, because we were coming out with stuff that was like, what? There's a character in the show that called John, and originally John, in the original script, he had no reason to be there. And then when we started writing it for etc., Shannon said to me, why is John here? And I went, frankly, I don't know. I don't know myself. So then we wrote him in. We wrote him in to be the idea that whoever plays Toby doubles up as John, because Toby's not really in it for a lot of it, for various reasons. And then, yeah. And we added a really funny line in there, which is kind of a callback to the character's origins, which is, I think the villain Dominic says, look, move out the way, otherwise you'll be more irrelevant than you already are.
Wow, meta.
And yeah, the audience, they don't understand any of this, but to me on stage, I'm just like, thanks Shannon, thanks.
So we are coming to the end of my questions, but so how are you getting ready for the show on March the 1st? How are you preparing? What's that journey looking like for you?
So we are starting rehearsals in a few weeks. The cast are absolutely amazing. I've had a sit down chat with them. This cast is, each time I do the show, I always think, oh, we can't top how we did last time. And we are. This cast is going to be absolutely insane. I know, obviously, Shannon and Helen can't be there in person, unfortunately, but they are just as excited as I am for it. And yeah, we're hoping this time we're going to film it. We're hoping.
Nice.
But that will depend on see how it goes. But this cast, what's great about it is that about 85% of the cast are all drama school graduates. So I think that's what's great with this piece as well, is that it's a great first piece for those straight out of drama school, and they want to do, they want a piece that will push you. It is a very emotional show. It will put you in dark places, but at the same time, you will have an absolute ball at doing it. And I'm just excited just to not be playing Lucky this time, because I get a lot more stage time, like off stage. I get to sit in the wings, just be like, look at them doing all the hard work.
So I know you mentioned the audience there, but what can the audience expect from seeing it live?
What can they expect? They can expect a bit of meta commentary in there. They can expect some really good comedy in there, some really dark scenes. There's also some really good messages behind this show. And I think if you're someone who struggles with mental health, definitely come see the show, because you never know, it will maybe be relatable to you. We've done it now 3 times, and every time someone comes up to me in the audience and goes, yeah, I can relate to, like, this person's struggles. I see myself in that position, and the writer of me goes, oh wow, 6 years ago, or nearly 7 years ago now, I never thought that was going to happen, that someone would, you look back in 2019 where I'm like, oh, no one's going to understand this, to everyone now understanding this.
Yeah. Wow, fantastic. So where can people stay up to date with you and the show?
So with me, you can find me on Instagram. My handle is Kym Nash Standup01. Newsflash, I'm a comedian. Newsflash. So you got that, and then you can also follow the show on Instagram at Unlucky Me to Play. We've got some very exciting stuff coming up. Obviously, we're at Bread and Roses on March 1st. The ticket link is in that bio. And we've also got some very exciting news coming about the summer as well, and various currently in the pipeline, which I wish I could talk about, but it's that actor thing. It's that actor thing of, I wish I could say what I'm doing, but I can't.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Just some exciting news will be coming soon, so people should
it will be. I'd say keep an eye out around Easter, I reckon. That's all I'm going to say.
My final question is, what advice do you have for young creatives looking to get into the industry to do what you do?
Don't get into your head too much, and B, if you think the idea is going to fail, just go for it. Just take that leap. I know it sounds so cliche of take the leap, but that's literally what I did with this piece, making it a short film. I didn't think anyone was going to relate to it. I took that leap, and here we are. We're at a stage piece, and I always have a teary eye in the wings, knowing that the person I wrote this show for may not be here, but I'm sure they're happy about where I've gone with it.
Wow, fantastic. So that is all my questions, and I'll end the same way I started by saying thank you so much for taking the time out to sit down and chat with me. Obviously, I will be there on March the 1st, so I'm very excited to see the show. But the best of luck, and I shall speak to you soon.
Yes, thank you very much.